My story is a little bit short. It's not complicated, and it's, well, pretty simple. So I was 19 years old. It was January of 1969, which is, you know, one of the best months or worst months in the world. And I was talking to my friend in the dining hall of my college, and he started telling me about Baba. Now I'm going to have to back up a little bit to explain why I was there. So in my sophomore year of college, this was at University of Massachusetts at Amherst, I was an engineering major, but I had become involved with a bunch of people who were taking drugs. And I started to take drugs too. I smoked marijuana and hashish and took LSD, and I had a rather unfortunate and large experience with the first LSD trip. Didn't hurt me, but I don't think, but here I am. So after some time, I had gone home for Christmas vacation, came back to school. It was more or less January 12th, plus or minus a few days. And I was in the dining hall talking to someone, and I was basically telling them something about the quote-unquote planes of consciousness that you might experience if you're a spiritual seeker, or if you had, you know, had an LSD experience. I thought I was really smart. I really wasn't, but my friend Bob Cushman was sitting at the same dining table. Now Bob is a friend of mine from my hometown, and he started telling me about Mayor Baba. Well, the conversation switched over from my experiences to talk of spiritual matters, what Mayor Baba says about things. And I argued with him a little bit, not very long. He finally told me one thing, and this is the crucial part of what he told me. And he said that Baba is beyond the mind. Now there's other ways to say this. Baba has said it himself in probably in one very important way, maybe several ways. But it's true. And that statement that Bob Cushman gave to me clinched it right then and there, because that simple statement, in a way, transformed my own mind to understanding Baba, and understanding that Baba is truth and reality, and everything from the mind, including my own experience, was not from truth and reality. And from that point on, I became a Baba lover. It was very simple, just snap effect. Nothing, no great insights, no visions, no images of Baba or anything like that. And so I started reading what few publications were available in 1969. God Speaks, Jean Adriel's book, Avatar, I believe the discourses were available, and going to Baba meetings there at school. And of course it was early January. Baba had not dropped the body at that point. And I felt that it'd be important, I felt it was very important to go and see Baba. But Bob told me that Baba was in seclusion. And there were all sorts of thoughts and sayings. People said different things. That Baba was in seclusion, and you couldn't see him, but of course Phyllis Frederick wrote him letters, and there were certain people who did see him. At any rate, I was a young college student and fairly naive about the ways of the world. I didn't even know how to get a passport. I didn't have the money to go pay for a flight to India. So I was, okay, that's great. Baba's in seclusion. I won't get to see him. Well, Baba dropped the body on January 31st. and I never did go. And I never actually heard about the last darshan until way too late. I couldn't therefore go to that. But it's an interesting thing that Baba sort of caught me at the very last moment, one of those people that he rescued from drugs. He did that, certainly. As soon as I heard that Baba disapproved of drugs, I stopped taking anything. And I think that pretty much the end of that story, except to say that I'm grateful now, grateful even more now than I was then, that it all happened. That would be the end of the story.
The beginning of your life with Baba?
The beginning of my life with Baba, yes.
Good.
It wasn't until we had a Baba group that sort of dissipated after a few years because people were graduating from college and just going. We had a fairly good Baba group. It was maybe 24 people, Bob Cushman included, and it was fun. But then after that, after I got out of school, graduated and went about my career, so to speak. At that time it was very next to nothing. But I didn't really come across any other Baba lovers until 1985, which is when I moved to California. I moved to California in '82, following a job prospect. And in 1985 I saw a little ad for a Baba meeting at the Los Angeles Baba Center. And I went to it, and ever since I've been sort of glued or stuck to Baba meetings. And here I am in Myrtle Beach now.
Were you